On this episode of In the House, I take a walk at Escobedo Group's impressive facility in Buda, Texas. David takes me through the steel fabrication, stone, and millwork shops, and their finishing booth. We dive into the details of their Dario Panelized system and inspect some panels that are waiting to be shipped out. David and I discuss the feasibility of this business model and what the future holds for the construction industry. Don't forget to subscribe and share the podcast with a friend. Thanks for listening. Elevate your construction projects with trademarks. Durable, waterproof vinyl markers that stand up to the toughest conditions. Perfect for accurately marking locations for electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and other essential elements. These heavy-duty markers won't wear off or move even under heavy traffic. Available in various shapes and colors, they ensure clear, professional communication on the job site. Streamline your layout process and maintain accountability to architectural plans with trademarks. New customers enjoy 15% off at checkout. Visit trademarklayout.com to get yours today.
So you got your own, was this a water jet? Wow.
So it's able to do that handrail. Yeah, so we can go 10 by 20. So it's one of the few machines this big of a bed. But like that handrail, it was able to do that whole thing. He put a 20-foot sheet on it and cut it all out.
That's incredible.
We had to slow it down too, just so that we could get a really
Super clean cut.
Yeah, right. Beautiful. I'm blown away. This is amazing.
This saw cut up to 20 in height or width.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and then the very next job we had was 22 inches. Fortunately, it was only 2 beams, so we torched them.
Yeah.
So we had to buy this saw because these beams were 50 foot long, so they were 15,000 pounds one beam.
Wow.
So we put the rollers outside.
Yep.
And we had to get a crane because our forklifts wouldn't pick them up. So our cranes would come over, set them on, and we'd roll them in. Once they got on this side, then our 30-ton overhead crane could pick them up and move them around.
Yeah, this is just like a playground. This is amazing. I mean, you can create literally almost anything you want in here.
Well,
this is just one division. This is just the steel.
Yeah.
So
this is right here. We're about to do this really cool spiral stairway. This is the stairway for a project we're doing in Driftwood. It's pretty simple, just stringers, and we do it this way. Here's the holes, and it'll have pans in it, and then they're going to put concrete. There's the rest of the handrail that they cut out.
Wow. That is just, that's beautiful.
I think those are the stair pans right there, the ones they painted black.
Oh, there, yeah, I see them.
Yeah. So what we've done with Dario, so all this is Dario. This is for another project in it's in Westlake. But anyway, so the cool part about it, we were buying studs, right?
Yep.
And I think I told you this in the interview. You would take a 10-foot stud, or a 9'6" plate line, and you cut 6 inches off of it. So this machine we've had for about a year and a half. So it does all of our own studs now. So the good part about this is it's already all laid out. It's all done with our modeling and computer. It's already punched the holes, so obviously a problem you have with light gauge framing is now the screw sticking out, so it affects your sheetrock. So all this is dimpled, and then it's called swaging. You see how it bends the end of the stud. So the plate is 3. Well, obviously this is 6 inch, 3 5/8, and the stud has now been swaged down. So when it goes in, you don't grow. Your plate line, your bottom plate is the same width as the stud.
Details. That's incredible.
So everything is waterproofed already. So these are 2 garages for this project we're doing in
I'm looking at this assembly. You have continuous exterior insulation on these panels.
It's a complete envelope once we have it done. It goes all the way around. So we're able to get like an R28 in the walls.
That's amazing. And this is what would be 2 by 8 almost, 8 inch, and then 3 inches of.
Right, but there's no insulation in here. It's an air gap. So we're getting from the ISO that much, and then the air gap gives us about 3 R factors.
Wow.
And this is a great membrane that we found. It's pretty new, but it's tested.
Yeah.
So you don't have to primer it.
Is this a rubberized?
Yeah, you don't have to primer it. So when you peel the back off and you roll it, it's got these encapsulated pockets that release the glue.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
So there's all of our storage for we have the installation made for us with this 5/8 plywood. So now you can go. So when we do stone, this is a massive stone project. We drill with the longer screw. We go through this and into the studs. So now your wall ties. And I think this is 18 gauge. So pretty.
Yeah, that's
pretty
very stout. Absolutely. That's definitely not off the shelf material.
No. And then all of our lifting eyes are designed in.
Yeah.
So with the computer, it's able to give us the
I've
balance.
just thought of every single detail.
So we're able
how to load it, how to pick it, how to place it.
Well, it's the same thing. The first thing loaded is the last thing off, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
just the logistics of it all. This is incredible.
This is the Dallas project again. These are over. They're about 14 feet in the air, and these are it's a chandelier hangs in the middle, and these hang down from the ceiling.
Wow.
So all of this is here, so all we have to do is just go install it. There's more, but this house has a lot of curved.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking up now, all these curved panels. But these are all like soffits, I guess, right? Or ceiling details or fur downs.
A lot of fascia. Yeah, this actually hangs down inside the finished space with this really cool looking chandelier that hangs out. I didn't show you. We already did the steel brackets for up there.
So these circular components, do y'all make these as well?
Yes.
The flexible ones?
Yes.
Wow.
So this is all cut out on our CNC down in our wood shop. And you can see how, well, this one is. We see how we even etch the numbers into it.
Yeah.
And then the flex track is screwed to that. So now you got this really exact radius. And then the studs are put in.
It's very impressive.
But you can see this one's got, so even all of the shapes like that, we're doing the fit. We're typically out there, right, with the skill saw and a square and having at it. So we buy the coils, which is a lot less expensive. So these are all of our coils. We change it. So we can go from 3 5/8 to 12 inches. And we can go from 22 gauge to 11 gauge.
Oh, wow.
11 gauge is right at 1/8 of an inch.
Yeah, that's
that's weldable.
Yeah.
We do over there, I don't see that arm with that yellow. That's a spot welder. So on some of them for engineering, on some of them we'll come back and spot weld, screw and spot weld. And then this is something we've been really researching and have had the engineers help us. This is called a K-frame. So this is our wind bracing for the houses. So these are all of our shear panels.
Really?
You can see how stout that is.
That's incredible. And that just goes in key areas?
Yeah, wherever the engineer, where you would have a shear wall with a bunch of plywood and L's and all that other crap, we can get away with it. So you can span a lot further, right?
Right.
So these can be put inside the house and go. So
and I see too, you have chases?
They've already been cut out.
Already cut out for plumbing or electrical?
Right.
Yeah, that's very
we're moving
planning.
in that direction to where the plumbing, it'll calculate the fall. So when it punches the holes in the wall, it'll already have the angle cut in.
Man, you make your plumber very happy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm serious. If we get it, we're getting it all there. I mean, we've come a long way in 7 years. So all of this is the Dallas project, all this black. So that's all of the pavers that go on the outside decks.
So everything here that we just walked through and everything out here in the yard, this is all for one project?
No. The 2x8s is a new project.
Okay.
That's that off a rock cliff.
Okay.
That's a 36,000 square foot house that we just started. We're doing the concrete on that. We're heavy into the concrete right now.
But this is all strictly for just y'all's projects.
Yes.
Yeah. Like nothing. Yeah. You haven't
outside.
opened it up yet to anybody else.
No, but the conversation with you, that's what we want to do is build the shells for them, you know. And then this is what you would get. I mean, you'd get it, boom, you know.
And so from start to finish, like how long does this process take from when you, let's say from you start with a design to it's packed on the truck and ready to ship?
Depends on the project. Okay. This one in Dallas is incredibly complicated.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's it's curves and it's just crazy. Now the one we're doing here in Driftwood, it's already getting the windows installed with the generals on it. It's 11,000 square feet ish. 17,000. And that one is like in the shell. So we filmed that one. That's how you would get it.
Okay.
You know,
All
and that process, I'd say that one we'll do the whole project. Right, the schedule with 2 years and
2 years and I think 4 months
from start to finish.
Wow.
Complete. You know, and so that framing part of it was probably 8 months. You know,
So 8 months basically from design to you're standing up walls on site.
yeah.
Okay.
And that was big enough to where we did it in phases,
Right.
which I like doing. So,
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
here's a phase, now all the mechanical and all that's going in, middle phase, and then third phase. This Dallas project was probably 5 phases. You know, it's a basement and 2 full first floor, main level and second level stacked on top of each other. So it's 20 some odd thousand square feet.
Wow.
So these 2 big blocks,
Wow.
we get them in that size and we can cut them down, and those came from Portugal. So that's travertine from Portugal.
So you this is how you
Get the
typically
material.
get the material, or and you cut it?
If we can get a lot, well, we've cut 90% of that,
Okay.
but like the ones wrapped up, we're using a mill where the black wasabi black is coming from, and they cut it for us. Anything square like that, we just try to get help. A lot of people can cut squares.
Yeah.
And then these blocks are called billet blocks. We cut them out of a big slab.
Okay.
And this is what we're making out of it.
Wow.
So this is we cut this completely out, hand polished it. It's hard to tell, but it's a 45-foot radius, and it's a water feature. So the water will come up through here and spill over, and it's a waterfall that falls into
820 pounds.
just that one rascal. It's
So
hard
you
to tell.
take a raw block like this, turn it into that.
Yeah.
Hand polished and everything.
Take a look down, and you can just
Yeah.
see that slight
I
curve.
sure do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. Man, I can't wait to see how that turns out.
So these guys, we've been going also 20 hours a day, 2 shifts for like 7 months.
So this is stone.
This is just stone. We started doing all of our own slab work, so we do all our own countertops now, but just for our clients.
Wow. David, what's that?
I made that out of concrete.
So you poured that and then you finalized the shape with the seam?
Well, I don't know if you noticed when you walked in that one crazy.
Right.
Okay, so that's thin shell concrete. The same guys I did the armadillo with,
Okay.
out of Zurich, they were trying to find ways to reduce the waste of forming. So we did it with cables. So we did 2 bucks, and then we stretched aircraft cable across it, then we could torque the cable to create bend shapes, right?
Wow.
So we did that, and then we put a filter fabric on it, and then poured the concrete on top of it.
No kidding.
So that one was actually laying down. We call it the potato chip. And I've had it in here for years now. I want to get it out of here, but I keep. This was a prototype for the stairs I was telling you with that handrail going on.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I bolted it to this piece of steel because it was a remodel. So the client really liked our main stairway. So I did this mock-up to make sure my idea would work.
That was so gorgeous.
Yeah, so
Wow. Yeah, no movement at all. Is that what is this, a limestone?
yeah, it's just the gray. You know, they changed the names on them.
Yeah.
So these are basically powder gray. Yeah, 1-inch rods that go all the way to here, filled with epoxy, and then dried, and then I'm able to torque them. They're torqued about 400. So this machine is a 5-axis CNC out of Milan, Italy.
Yeah. Wow. So you can get all those radius cuts with this thing.
I'll show you over there how we started,
Okay.
and then what it's doing now is it's putting these grooves in it.
Wow.
So that's the outside face of it. The veneer on the outside is this
of the fountain.
of the whole house.
Oh, the whole. Oh, okay.
Yeah, of the whole house. I mean, it's I don't know,
Wow.
60,000 square feet of stone on the outside of this, and then
Yeah.
it'll also have travertine on it too.
That is gorgeous.
So obviously, we make these wood bucks. We're able to set it on it, and then since it is 5-axis, the cuts in it are 90 degrees to themselves. You know what I mean? So the cut isn't doing that. The cut's totally plumb as it goes around.
Wow.
The lathe in the back, we can do 13 foot in length and 3 foot in diameter. Which this project, the big one, it has a lot of stone columns. So all of this material that you see from there to here and to there, all goes on that Dallas project.
Whoa.
260 sheets of marble.
And that's just the exterior cladding.
The interior. No, this is interior. The exterior is that stuff.
It's just completely wrapped in stone, inside and out. That is...
Well, they didn't start out that way, but they saw capability, so...
Wow. These guys are talented. I'll give them that.
Oh, yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah. That's where the magic happens. Just their skill.
Yep. And that was our conversation of the lack of skilled labor now. So we used to have a lot of universities, especially UT.
Oh, sure.
Architectural and engineering. So they started teaching programming. So that guy, we would put vertical on the 5-axis and let it cut so they could see. And that's why it's not finished, but it was in true 5-axis when it was cutting that out.
So it's just a test.
Yeah. Well, that, and then we could show them how it actually worked.
Yeah.
They could see the machine moving.
Wow.
Yeah, so all of that's for that one project. All of this is for 3 projects.
This is incredible. It's just mind-blowing how you've taken every aspect of the project and just brought it all in-house. You're saying,
Yeah.
I'm going to control it all.
That's the idea.
Yeah. I mean, what is this big boy?
So this is the one from Verona, Italy. So it's a 3-axis CNC. It's the one that actually cuts the curve.
Oh.
So we put a massive block like the ones you saw outside,
Yep,
but
yep.
only in the black, and it starts to cut the curves out of it. So the cable is this aircraft cable, and it's segmented with diamonds. So as the wire is going through, it's going this way, but it's also spinning.
No way.
Since it's a radius, so it's able to get full contact on all the diamonds. It's also very accurate, but you got to run. It's like anything. If you push a piece of plywood too hard through a table saw, you're going to walk on it. So the same thing with the stone.
Yeah.
And stone is so much different because it has hard soft in it. Regardless, we hit a lot of coarse pockets, so it's
got to watch it.
you got to slow it down. But I'll show you this sample.
You got bathtubs and you got chairs and sculpture and you got
We
everything.
played with the 5-axis. There was a program we found and just played with it. But this was the mock-up for the veneer.
Whoa.
But only this is a 4 foot and this is an 8 foot, so a total of 12 foot high. But what we did on this one, you can see there's a little bit of chatter there.
Yep.
Falling, so we played with different diamond segments and softness.
Okay.
So we got it to not do that at all. So all of these joints here are almost invisible now. But this was our mock-up, and this is, so all of this is a weep.
Yep.
You know?
So you have basically a gap between your stone cladding and your waterproofing, which we saw.
An inch and a half, right?
Inch and a half, and then you maintain that positive drainage.
Yep. The way it's flashed is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The flashing comes down and goes to right there. So as it comes down the wall, it'll hit and go out. So it really doesn't ever go down to the bottom.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm blown away. It's like thought of every detail. But that's the purpose of the mock-up too. I mean, mock-ups are...
you would not like those stairways, like the stair treads I did. I wanted to mock it up, and everybody gets an idea.
Yeah.
And then we can get closer on pricing because now we know what it is. So that's a big thing with me. I'm wanting to not just be willy-nilly and try to.
Mock-ups are so valuable. Yeah. I mean, it really helps you to dial in the details. I mean, just like what you've done with the cutting and the whole process. And yeah.
So these pieces are flooring for the Dallas job. You can see this one's a radius in the back. There's a sunken seating area that's a big radius, so that floor will come right up to it. So we're cutting all this out off of our model. There's no field measuring.
Really?
We verified our measurements out there, but it's all off of our model. But we know it works because all the walls work, right?
Right.
So we did the first time it goes together is in the field. We don't do anything here.
Well, And like you said too, I mean, if there is a mistake or an error, you know who to point to. It's all
exactly. Looking in the mirror. So this is there you go. That's how tall they are. So these are in the thousands of pound range each slab.
That's beautiful. You even have a little like tongue and groove almost. So each panel just fits into the other.
Well, this one is a corner piece, so the other corner locks into it and goes 90 that way.
Okay.
But it is tongue and groove.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it is tongue and groove. This is one. So the other piece overlaps about that much.
Okay.
Right? We gave ourselves about 3/16.
Mm-hmm.
And then this groove in here, everything's clipped to the wall with stainless steel brackets that we make with the screws I'm telling you about. So they go in, so everything is on all four sides is tied to it, and it's a dovetail. You know what that is? Where it goes both ways. Mm-hmm. So when you lock this one together, you put the next one. It already has a receiver.
There are no off-the-shelf components.
Oh no!
Like everything is manufactured here, from the mounting bracket and everything. Okay, well, but I mean, all the mounting hardware, the cladding, just the structure, everything. I mean, it's all manufactured here, which is that's awesome.
That's a very true statement. Although we do look for help, like I told you, those pavers over there. They're just rectangles, and they have these massive saws because they're a flooring company.
Well, that makes sense.
So we let them just cut all the squares out, but all of this we're cutting because they don't do limestone. This is charcoal. So we're cutting all this. This is for the project.
This is the looter, charcoal looter.
Yeah, this one's in Terrytown, but they don't mess with limestone, just granite and marble.
Very, very impressive. I keep saying that. I keep saying everything's impressive, and it's true. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, let's jump in the Jeep. I'll take you down to I want you to see the millwork.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see
So these are the coils, right, for all of the projects. And these walls are already out here. This is one of the garages that we showed you that's going out the corridor, so it's ready to go.
That's ready to go.
It'll get loaded that way. This one is so close that we'll get a permitted load, and we do our own trucking too. So we have our own semis and trailers.
Yeah, I know.
So this guy's going to hang over 8 inches on either side. So it's $150 for a permit, and it's right here 20 minutes from us. So we're going to lay them down. Standing them up is more work. We've made these cradles. I don't see any here. That we can vertically stack the walls now.
Oh, wow.
And then that carrier can be taken off by the crane, set down in the truck, and move on.
It's just such outside of the box thinking, really. Eliminating roadblocks.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Write that down, Marty. Oh, we recorded it.
That's right. So how is it? I mean, you have three kids, right?
Yeah.
How is it building this company to what it is today while also having a family? And I mean, how do you balance that? I mean, this is an incredible thing that you've built, and it's not easy to do while you have kids.
Well, back in the day when I was swinging the hammer, I had to work to eat, right? Yeah. So fortunately, Kathy, who's also in the business, my wife, had a real job. I mean, meaning benefits and insurance and all that. She was in the law profession. So that's how we made it until I finally started making enough to sustain. And then once I started doing that, she quit and came full time. And then Matthew, really, he had a couple of small jobs when he graduated in accounting. He went to work for a couple of accounting firms in town. Within a year, he said, "Dad, I want to come back," because as a kid, he always worked with me. And then the daughters, both of them went and did other things and then said, "Hey, give me a chance." So they came on. Like most of the people you met in there have been 10 years or longer. You know?
20 years.
Yeah.
40 years.
My oldest guys, term-wise, are 41 years, and they're masons.
Wow.
So the cabinets in 08, I remember because we were doing the penthouse at the Four Seasons residence, and I looked at that, and what I was doing, I said, "God, we've got $1.3 million worth of millwork again." So I started making phone calls because we used to do our own millwork.
Sure.
And then everybody with the table saw was cabinet builder, so I just couldn't compete.
Yeah.
So a couple of guys I knew said, "Yeah, David, I'll come help you." And I've known Paul for probably 38 plus years. He was the best cabinet builder at the time. And then he got out of it, same thing, couldn't make a living doing it any longer, to try to do the quality of work that he was wanting to do.
Yeah.
So he's been back with me probably 16 years now.
That's an impressive operation. I mean, everything, we just walked through steel and stone, and now we're making it over here to millwork. But, I mean, everything is just,
But where we are, like with our
Beautiful.
stone work is traditional, all of our joinery, we don't miter really anything. And then Paul came from old school, so our millwork is built like furniture. It's not, what Paul has taken it to, and the guys have taken it to, still that same level. We won't give up. Yeah. I mean, we still make all of our own drawers, all of our own doors. It's all dovetailed. We just added on here a little bit. We got a great finishing department, so we do all of our own finishing.
Yeah, that's important too. Yeah. Wow. Do it all.
Well, I say all the simple stuff. We do it on site, right? Like up downtown. So all of this is the Dallas project again.
Wow, this is tall.
Yeah, it's 12. The doors in there are 12-foot tall doors.
Oh my gosh, this is incredible.
This is one of the things I'm talking about. A typical cabinet shop would make this 2 boxes and put a little 3/4. So when you put it together, you see the seam. So all these, none of ours will have that. If they're too big, this one, see, it's biscuited on.
Biscuited, yeah. Is this a lighting detail right here?
Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that like that. That's
pretty cool, isn't it?
That's amazing.
So the other thing that we started doing, like on the kitchens, mock it up 100%, and then actually install dry fit all the appliances here. Because even the cut sheets, as you know, say, and it's an old cut sheet to a new, and it runs into the back, and you're out there, so we can take the time and put it together. What is that, Paul? That's cool.
There's always something on site when you go to install it. Wow. It's very beautiful.
How's it going, man?
I mean, this is what you're talking about, like building it all in the shop.
Yep, mocking it all up.
Mocking it all up.
And the other thing that we do with the model, all of this is cut out of plastic, a template plastic. Paul mainly takes it out and dry fits it on the floor. Make sure the plumbing's not in the middle of a bulkhead or all that, so we can alleviate a lot of that. But then we know it fits,
That's a lot.
Instead of getting out there and going, but this house isn't even sheetrock yet. And that's where we are with cabinets. That's what I'm telling you. If you take advantage of the system, you can just jump ahead. So once we sheetrock, boom, we're installing cabinets.
Yeah.
We've already started installing the floors there. I pulled off a little bit because I don't know if you ever used the window Vitruxa out of Switzerland.
I haven't.
The most expensive window on the planet. So those are going in right now, and they've had a few hiccups with some parts, but they're going to start installing glass in 2 weeks. And once they get the west side done, we're going to block it off and start climatizing it. Yep. Then all of this can start happening.
Wow. So you're finishing out one side of the house, and the other side is going. Yeah, keep going.
It'll be somewhat 3 phases on it.
That's so smart. Yeah.
This has been a workhorse for us.
Yeah, I bet.
It's American made. I only say that because just about everything you're looking at is German or Italian, and even our stone equipment. But American made Como, and it's a workhorse.
Got some raw materials here.
Oh yeah, we bring everything in quarter material and then plane it down. Yeah, everything's rough.
Beautiful.
Everything's rough, so we can get it dead on to what thickness it needs to be. We have a small, it's a big building, but we have a second millwork shop we started. It's over in Bee Caves.
Okay.
Because of the amount of work, and we're just out of room here. So Paul's got a couple of our really good guys over there that are producing millwork.
We're standing in this big dome structure.
Yeah, it feels good.
Did y'all do all this ceiling and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so cool. I just looked up and what's this specific? I know this is a specific type of arch, and I can't remember the name.
Well, typically they're called Kwanzaa huts. The Kwanzaa.
Okay.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Okay. Well, there's a name for an elliptical arch. Yeah. I think that's what I was looking for. An elliptical arch.
Well, that's all we do. That's all I got.
That's it. Just
all I got.
massive operation.
I was telling Paul about now, you know, if you utilize what we're doing and we're already making cabinets and we're not even sheetrock, that's the way you can cut the window down.
How much would you say you shave off of a total project schedule by utilizing this method of construction?
Again, you know, depends on the complication of it, but all of these are, you know, 6 to 10 months we're taking off of it, if not a little longer.
Really?
Yeah. Which is a lot if you think about
it.
That
is. I mean, that is a lot. Do you think this method that you're utilizing, do you think it's suited for all projects? Do you think every project or every general contractor could build this way?
Of the scale of work that we do, yes. I mean, you can only go so far down the ladder to where it's not sensible, right?
It's no longer as profitable.
Yeah, unless you turn it into production, which you can. And I want to, at some point, is to do something that we can repeat, you know, but not right now. It's just not. It's not financially feasible to go try to attack something like that.
What do you think the future is, though?
That's it. I think that's the way it's going to be. It's getting more and more mechanized as time goes on.
I agree. What do you think? Artificial intelligence. What do you think? What role will that play in this method that you're using?
We're actually looking into it. You know. So what would you say, Marty? I know we've looked into it, but it's not there. It can design you something, but it can't tell you how to build it yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what you need right there. He's our artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
A programmer and a very talented.
Wow. I bet you need a lot of those.
He writes code, and we just hired another gentleman actually from China, and apparently I talked to him a little bit. He's been with us, what?
Only
a month.
That's true. I mean, now that you've expanded this into, it's not just construction. I mean, there's a lot of other people and resources that you're bringing in to make this thing work. You know, coders and programmers, and you know, and that's what's so impressive about it too. Is
but if you model the whole thing like we're doing, to where the foundation works to the framing, doing the mechanical, you know, all of the reflective ceiling plans, think through all of that. You're not going to get 100%, but if you can get 88, 89%, then when it goes together, it goes together. Now that takes time, and that's what we're trying to cut down with these guys. We're manipulating softwares right now, and at the end of it, I think we're going to have our own software.
Wow.
You know, by the end of it, you know, with Revit and Rhino and the Inventor, all of those, putting those that are at their best pieces together and understanding how to manipulate them like these guys are doing. It's even like our plywood. Now we send it down those sheets, so all of the plywood is cut out. It goes down, doors, any opening that needs to be in it. And we were having to rewrite the code to make for the Como CNC, this proprietary software. Well, I think it was Jonathan figured out how to break into it. So now it goes straight from there to there, and we don't have to rewrite the code.
That's so cool.
So
it's such a time saver too.
Well, it's huge. It cuts the time out and eliminates human error. I'm sorry to say, you know that. Human error is the main part of it. You know, and now that the computer's laying everything out, you know, you can't transpose a number. I mean, it's like I say, I give us a 94% of accuracy when we go install, which is pretty damn good. But that 6% is the holes in the wrong place or not the right diameter. We've never had to rebuild a wall and says, got a wall, we made it 5 feet too big. Not that, or height wise, but it's just those little things like that. But I'd say right now we're at about 84% effective in getting it out of the modeling, with the room we went into. Over
And
there.
then, of course, your field crews are communicating with your design team, I'm sure, to communicate those issues and hopefully remedy them for future projects.
Whenever we go out to do on a big install, one of those guys goes. So he can see what's going on, and then he was there drawing it, so he knows how it goes.
Well, you have to. I mean, you have to have that field knowledge because, it doesn't always go together like it looks on plan view, on a piece of paper.
Well, the other problem we have, though, is none of those guys have ever built anything.
That too, yeah.
I mean, maybe a model or something. They're all out of UT or whatever, and I've designed this. They've never really built anything. So 7 years ago when we started, I sat in there on the first buildings we built and taught them what a T was, what a corner, what a cripple. They didn't know, And so they started building the library and getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to say you can't find at least this old dumb carpenter to run a computer. I know how to build the shit out of it. I just can't do this.
Well, David, I know you got a deadline to meet, so I appreciate you taking your time out of your schedule to walk me around and give me the tour. So I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'd love to keep in touch with you and show you what we're doing. Again, I'd say within 30 to 45 days, we're going to go live with the whole thing.
That's exciting.
A promotion that's going to go out, I don't say nationwide, but the Phoenix and those people who have been hitting on us. And I want to hit it hard in Texas. And especially if we can get, and we are getting close to the dollar amount of what you would have for the framing material and insulation and all the dry end part of it. We're meeting, we're real close to those numbers already. But I have to be in the custom luxury market like we're in.
Absolutely.
I can't come down off of that. It just doesn't work.
For sure.
Because a person's going to pay a little bit more knowing they're going to get even their framing is going to be of high quality. And that's not talking about all of the benefits to the environment and to insulating values and all that. You can talk to someone and they go, I don't care. I just give me a bigger air conditioner. I'll just crank it up,
That's right. That's right.
Some people care.
Some people care a lot. Okay, that all sounds great. That all sounds great. But where every one of them has went, what did you say? When I tell them the time savings.
Yeah.
That's what grabs them all.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Well,
all right, well, I'll let you go. Here's your mic.
Thank you, David.